Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the From the Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the From the Banking podcast. I am Amber and Orange. I'm not in my usual space because I'm away marshalling, but we've got that Marshal fella, John, in his usual space, and we've got the Cadet Marshal, Aaron, in his usual space. How are we both doing?
Excellent. You forgot to mention you were live from the Formula E campsite.
Yes, I am. I am live from the Formula E campsite. That's where I am this weekend. My fancy. It's the season finale, and there's 9 drivers still in contention for the championship to win.
Oh, that's going to be fun. How's your weather forecast for the weekend? Because it's about 36 degrees at the minute, is it not?
It's going to stay the same. It's going to stay the same. I'm hoping the one good thing about Formula E and London XL is they've got both inside posts and posts that are under shelter. They're not necessarily inside, but it's much like touring cars at Knockhill. We get told, well, in this case it's tomorrow, Friday, but we get told when we're going out to post on the day. So, and then we don't get moved.
So if anybody's thinking of going to the E-Prix and hasn't bought any tickets yet, I dare say you can still get tickets.
I believe so. There are different types of tickets. So you've got your 20 quid tickets, which is ones that are typically advertised. They don't get you into like the grandstand. They only get you into the fan zone, where it's still in the XL, but you don't get to see any of the actual racing. You just get into the fan zone, and they'll have a big screen showing the racing. There's 2 or 3 different grandstands just along the start-finish straight in the XL. That's the only place you're allowed to spectate from, and I'm pretty sure there's still some tickets left. They didn't give us guest tickets this year, so don't ask me for any.
So you're going to probably, and I know the cars do make noise, but you're going to probably one of the most silent motorsport races in the world. And last weekend we were at one of the noisiest.
Yes. In comparison to what you guys are getting this weekend, it's going to be dead silent.
So as many as you probably know, me and Amber both marshalled it last weekend, but Aaron was also there, weren't you, Aaron? You were actually at the touring cars as well, but in a different capacity this year.
Well, Saturday, I wasn't there, but Friday I was there. I got to talk to some cool turbo drivers. This is bloke called, I don't know what his name is, Tom Ingram, something like that. I don't think he's very important.
Nah,
but yeah, I talked to him.
Tom Ingram, well, he didn't win any races this weekend.
Yeah.
So,
nah.
I mean, yeah, it was interesting. I got to talk to Tom Ingram, Gordon Shedden, and obviously Aidan Moffat as well, which you want to all right.
Whoop, whoop.
And of course, the absolute legend that is Nathan Edwards as well. Because Nathan Edwards is character. But yeah, so I had that on Friday. Saturday I was at home. So it was his 18th birthday. So I was sat watching the time and screens for most of the day. Don't worry, it's stuff.
You'll have seen the fun. You'll have seen the fun on Saturday. Did the lovely Finn?
Yeah, no, Finn helped out a bit on Saturday. I'm listening to Legends commentary first lap. Oh, there's a red flag. Oh, cars go rolling over. Oh, I can't be right. And Finn's to be a video. I see the biggest Legends crash of my life on Saturday. What? In all seriousness, it is crazy, that crash, and it's probably even crazier that everyone was alright. But even better, everyone was alright. Very scary for that.
It was mega crazy for me because I was in post 3 and it happened right in front of me.
I was just about to say, John, you were there. Talk to us about it.
Well, if I'm fair, it happened so quickly. The first lot of cars were going around the corner, so I turned my head in case I had a yellow flag just coming out of McIntyre's, and then you just heard the screeching and the banging and the crushing noises of metal. But race control more or less instantly threw the safety car, which meant we could actually go out and run across the track and make sure all the drivers were okay. And I think it took us with rescue. Rescue came down rather quickly because obviously they were parked right next to where it happened.
Yeah, they were in the rallycross.
They were in the rallycross, yes. And we hadn't moved the 2 marshals from the satellite post at post 3. We had to move them on Sunday. I'll get into more about that later on. There was rules. I'll do it now. Basically, it's not a registered marshal point, the satellite point for post 3 across the grass. It's not a registered
Yeah.
marshal point, so we weren't allowed to put anybody there, and we had to move them up to where their rescue unit actually sits. So if that happened on Sunday, it might have been slightly longer to get there because they'd be coming down from there first. But no, Saturday it was great. And I think actual cars, getting to the cars, getting the drivers out, getting them safe, we were 3-4 minutes in total. The longest time spent at that incident was watching them trying to put them onto the back of the HIABs.
Yeah.
That the actual recovery of the vehicles was what actually took the most amount of time. But it's usually the same. And it's always the drivers get safe as quick as you can, and then the rest of it will just happen. But what you're meant to do, so the crash happens, you go make sure the drivers are okay, but you don't want, we had 10 marshals. You don't want 10 marshals round the drivers all the time because you're crowding them. So the 5 drivers that were involved had a marshal each looking after them. And the other 5, we'd already started the clear up before rescue arrived. So all the bits of bodywork that were lying about, the suspension springs that were lying about, track rods that were lying about, they all got moved up over the tyre barrier, which was left there on Saturday night. And when we came back on Sunday morning, it was all gone. Looks like Amber's lost her connection there.
I'm not.
But all the stuff. Aye. There was literally a full body shell of a Legend sitting on the banking. And when we came back on Sunday morning, it was gone. It was in somebody's caravan in the campsite.
Yeah. I'm aware, I've seen a replay of the crash on Angus Scribner's socials. But by the way,
because he's the one that went right through the middle of it all, didn't he?
Yeah. Because have you seen the video, Angus Scribner's one? Because it just comes out of nowhere. And the red one that flipped, just bang into his front right. And it's like, you see him react to it. Like his hand just go, ooh, like back, and he's straight like that. But I mean, that must be terrifying, you know? You just start legendaries. No, you got a car literally flying towards you. I mean, that's not.
But if you watch what he does, he goes, he threads the eye of the needle through everything that's going round him.
Yeah.
But he actually steals it in, turns it out of gear, puts like the handbrake on as such, and turns the engine off. It's just goes through it all. But I mean, I found an Insta 360 camera lodged in the grass, so I would be quite interested to find out if there's any footage of that of me going, I wonder whose this is.
That's
so
brilliant.
if you see John doing any 360 videos on TikTok, you'll know why.
Yeah. That is quite funny.
Actually, no, I tell you,
but yeah,
isn't that Lee Fisher's 360 camera?
It could be.
It would explain where it was a massive crash. It's cursed, you know, we've all said it.
Did you have much up at Post 5, Amber?
We had the lovely Amy Watts at Post 5 in one of the forest races, but again, that was her own fault. It was just, she's spun and dug herself into the gravel. We had four legends, sorry. 4 legends, that was on Sunday. It's the final legends race. Ben Mason, who I didn't realise was involved in it.
Oh, he got shunted.
I didn't realise he was involved until I watched it back on ITV. There was Ben Mason.
Yeah, Maximum Poblos, really? I don't know how to say it. I've just butchered that, mate. So if you're watching this, I'm really sorry about that. Anyways, there was a slight bit of heartbreak when I saw Ben just go clattering into that. I don't know if I was crashed or not. I'm just going to wait and see.
Yeah, I think she's frozen. She'll dip in and out.
Yeah, but yeah, so it was quite interesting, the whole legend stuff. I will say, right, the saddest part of the weekend for me, race 3, you've got LB Clark literally running round the side of the hairpin, fighting for P2, possibly win. Can you imagine? Never had a podium in a Legends career so far, at least in the Scottish Legends. I mean, she's had so much bad luck. She goes around the outside. I'm sat there watching it, going, go on, LB, go on. Because I think she's trying to go to the podium and she runs up to the gravel and drops P4. And it's just, no, like, I know as Marshall's meant to be impartial, but it's like, you can't not root for LB Clark. It's just one of those things, you know what I mean?
That's very true. But what do you? So the big event at the weekend was obviously the touring cars. They were the main features. What did you think of those races?
Touring cars are pretty good. I actually catch all the races, to be fair. I got off at 12 from working, so I caught the start of the first touring car race and listened to the rest of it on the radio on a recovery vehicle for some reason. Don't even question it. But yeah, so it was pretty good. And obviously, the first race, Slate get the 1-2. I was hoping for a Shedden win, but did not happen. Didn't happen on.
So can you remember what your predictions were?
I remember I picked the Daryl de Leon to get pole, which the BMW's disappointed this weekend. They didn't do me well. You know? They could have done so much better. As well as Lewis Gilbert, mate. You were in a good car, and I've said I met him. No, the guy's so nice. Like honestly, I can't say a bad word about him. He's real nice. But he was talking to a bunch of fans. I don't know if fans or family or friends or whatever. But he was talking to a bunch of folks at his garage when I was stood aside about when he went straight on at the hairpin and smashed into somebody.
Yeah. I think Amber's message, by the way, could you double check? Because I'm using my phone.
Will do. No, but yeah. So he hits get hairpin and had a bit of damage from that and a bit of poor race. But he was talking about it. He said, "Yeah, I tried to turn him in the hairpin. And I got a bit too ballsy."
Yeah.
I think it's something along those lines. But he's a nice guy, to be fair. I felt really bad for him. But well, predictions though.
Yeah, I've got them all sitting here.
All right, hit me. Right, it's not yours.
Quali race. The quali race, right?
Wait,
so
pause,
P1, Amber reckoned it would be Ash Sutton. You said Ash Sutton, and I said Dan Rowbottom. And first in the quali race, or P1, was Adam Morgan.
Very close, yeah.
As we know. P2, Amber had Aidan Moffat, you had Daryl de Leon, and I had Mikey Doble, and it ended up being Gordon Shedden.
Yeah. I did not expect going to do that well this weekend, to be honest, but I'm not playing either.
And P3, Amber had Tom Ingram, you had Charles Rainford, and I had Gordon Shedden. And it was Dan Rowbottom.
Yeah, so I got nobody
so out of the whole of the predictions, I said Dan Rowbottom for P1, but you got P.
Yeah. So I had shotgun.
But as I go down the list, you've probably done the best with predictions with who's been with who's been P1, P2, B3.
Right, okay, hit me, let's go. Race one.
Race one. Amber said Ash Sutton, you said Aidan Moffat, and I said Mikey Doble for the win. It was Adam Morgan, as we know.
Yeah.
Okay, 2. Amber said Tom Ingram, you said Daryl de Leon, and I said Dan Rowbottom, and it was actually Dan Rowbottom. I got one right. Amber said for P3, Charles Rainford, you said Dan Camish, I said Tom Ingram, and it was Gordon Shedden. But you and Amber both got the independent winner right.
Moffat? No, not Moffat. Mikey
Doble.
Yeah, Mikey Coswell, yeah. I should have known that.
Race 2.
I know my independence.
What's that?
I know my independence.
Race 2 result. Amber said Gordon Shedden, sorry. You said Ash Sutton.
Yeah.
And I said Daryl de Leon. And who was first in race 2?
Good question.
Ash Sutton.
Was it? Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I forgot with that. I didn't completely forgot he won race 2. I thought I got that wrong.
Yeah, so you got that one completely right. So I've got one, as in, I've mentioned them, but they're in the top 3, but not in the right place. The second one I got right, and the third one you've got completely right. Amber said for P2, Aaron Taylor-Smith, you said Charles Rainford, I said Tom Ingram, and the race 2 result for P2 was Dan Rowbottom, as we both know, because it was a Cataclean Plato Racing, wasn't it? No, sorry, that was the first one. I'm talking about my backside now. Let me see. P3, Amber said Adam Morgan, you said Dan Camish, I said Gordon Shedden, and it was, of course, Rob Collard. So, race 3. This is where you. This is where you.
It's funny, I barely watched the races. Obviously, I was there, still understand watching it, and I'm just no idea who won or anything.
So this is where you kind of edge. So we both got 2 people in the top 3.
Right. Okay.
But your first one was spot on with the actual position, and with this one as well, you got the position spot on.
Right,
so, race 3 result. Amber said Josh Cook. You said Dexter Patterson. I said Tom Ingram. It was Tom Chilton. So it was a Tom, but Tom Chilton.
Did not expect it, to be fair.
P2, Amber said Ricky Collard. You said Ricky Collard. I said Louis Gilbert. And it was Adam Morgan. And Amber said for P3, Tom Ingram. You said Dan Camish. I didn't give one for this one. And the win, P3 result for race 3 was Dan Camish.
Yeah. And Patterson, for the record, Patterson did win a race in race 3. It just wasn't. They didn't win independence, actually. Or was it somebody else?
I've not looked into all the independence. It was only race 1.
Hold on. What was top 3 again, sorry?
The top 3, Tom Chilton, Adam Morgan, Dan Camish in race 3.
So Dex did win a race for independence. So he won something. He didn't win the main race, but he won something.
That's very true. That's very true. Have you got any highlights from the touring car weekend at Knockhill?
Oh, that's a good question.
Because my highlight isn't the racing.
It's the fans.
Not even the fans. Well, I'll go into that story in a minute. You've probably seen my TikTok.
I genuinely think all the drivers have been told when they come to Knockhill, say the fans are the best part of it, because everyone I asked said fans.
Yeah. There's two things. I'll go with mine anyway. So the two things for me that really stood out was I was talking to David Addison in the pit lane, and he showed me inside the commentary box, which is literally a shed because they don't get any fancy stuff. And Mr. Addison really, really, really wants to come back on the podcast.
Hey.
I did ask him, have you actually listened to the one that we put out of you the last time? And he went, nope, but I've had no bad press, so it must be fine.
Yeah.
And the second thing, now you can believe this or you don't have to believe it, it's completely up to you, but there was other marshals with me at the time who can confirm it. At lunchtime, I couldn't walk any more than 10 meters through that paddock without somebody asking me for a selfie because they'd seen me on TikTok or they listened to the podcast.
I don't think I recognised one. I thought I would, but
I was getting asked for a selfie. I was getting said, "Oh, you're that Marshall fella on TikTok." Blah 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 blah. It only really happens like that at a touring car weekend.
Yeah, I think half the reason as well for me, not to say that I'm celebrity and I should be getting noticed, but I don't think people will recognise me without overalls on, which I get told that a lot from like Finn and Liam as well. I think Liam said to me once, but Finn has said to me before, like he doesn't recognise me.
But they should do because you done your series about the lead up to Knockhill and
yes,
you
that's my thing.
Your t-shirts.
I don't know. I did most of them in this, to be fair, promoting my car clubs. But yeah, I've got things to talk about from my point of view. I know Chris Smiley, I think it was race 2 he didn't have out of. I want to say, have you heard what happened on the back of the Hiab?
I haven't, no.
So we're all sitting at the podium, because I'm waiting to see. I can't remember. I think Mikey won the Independence. So I'm stood waiting to watch the podium. I won't get a photo of Mikey Noble because why not? And just get a selfie with him. And the Hiabs come up, and there's like it's so much traffic in the area with the mini trying to come out and everything. So all the Hiabs are sort of stuck where they are, and we look over. And there's a bunch of smoke coming out of Chris Smiley's car. And the whole cockpit starts smoking up and everything. And just stands there just smoking for like a couple of minutes. And eventually it all goes away. But we're sat there looking at it like, what's going on there? It's not quite interesting. But
I would also say that we were running really late on the Saturday at one point.
I'm not surprised.
But we still got a full lunch break.
Yeah.
The Kraken team up in race control managed to get us more or less back on time for lunch break. Yes, it went on a bit in the afternoon, but there's nothing you can do about that. But the Crackshot team up at race control managed to get us back from, I think at one point we were nearly 40 minutes down, and we ended up getting a full lunch break.
Yeah.
Which was quite
I know
good.
I was in the afternoon, you were a bit behind. I know that because I've started watching time and it's like the race might start like this time, it's like half an hour later. It's like, I'm not surprised with it. I know they were talking about on the commentary for Saturday evening that it was getting quite dark, that the minis haven't even put the headlights on and everything to see that it was getting...
Yeah, but I think a lot of that was to do with the weather though as well.
Yeah, I know that, yeah. But talking about the highlights of the weekend, thank you to Charlie Kelso for this, by the way, because he egged me on enough. So Charlie Kelso egged me on to go ask teams parts in this, just for joking about purposes. And I ended up going to PMR, and I got this from Aidan Moffat's car. Which is quite cool. It is a air intake from the front bumper, which is quite minted.
Is that we had his front splitter on post because he spun off at the bottom of Duffus and he ripped off the front splitter.
This is what that's from, I think.
Right. Well, here's the story for you. And Aidan, if you're listening to this, I apologise. I very much doubt you will be, but I'm going to apologise anyway. So Aidan came off and we managed to get him towed up to post 4. So he got towed up to post 4 and he came down, but he noticed a photographer. So he went down to speak to the photographer. He was waving to the fans and all that kind of stuff. He was doing the whole engagement thing. And we wondered what he was doing. He went back up to the post and the photographer came back over to post 3 because that was the way he wanted to go. So I was like, did he make a beeline for you? He's like, aye, he wanted to take photos, but he needs to stick to driving.
I mean, to be fair, of all the drivers that go up to somebody, I go up to the photographer after the crash to go, let me get the camera for this race. It's got them up, you know?
Aidan is probably one of the funniest drivers and one of the most down-to-earth guys. Yeah. I mean, usually if a driver goes, you've probably seen my pictures that I put on TikTok and stuff. We had I think was it Smiley came off. Somebody came off at our post. I can't remember. And he came off right at the entrance to the post. So when he got out,
It was Chris, yeah.
Yeah, the camera followed him. Hence, that's why I'm on the telly. But he did not say a word to us, as that's normally what drivers will do. They won't say a word. They will just stand there and they will watch and they'll stamp their feet and they'll take a hissy fit. Not Aidan Moffat. He's walking up and he's dancing and he's laughing and joking to the crowd and having a laugh with the marshals on, up at post 4 and all that kind of stuff. I think he was just really enjoying being back at Knockhill.
I mean, as well, what I think about Moffat is, like, even with my interview with him, he's having a laugh during the interview. I was asking about his bad luck, because obviously he's had horrendous luck this year, and did not knock out. And I asked him, sort of, how do you deal with it, basically? And the answer I got was, well, I don't want to kill myself as much, because I have to experience out of it. Well, yeah, right, fair enough. I just don't know for a bit. I'll enjoy a beer more on a Sunday night. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
He's straight into it for a bit. And like, even after the interview, I'm talking to him. He's asked me about the chicane, because we've got the whole sausage curb stuff going on. He hadn't been in the track walk yet. So he was asking me about it. I'm like, well, for the club
Aidan
meet,
doesn't need a track walk. He knows exactly where he's going.
but he didn't know there was a curb there or not. He didn't know if they just direct sell or anything.
Because the weekend before we took the curb away, hadn't we?
Yeah.
For the racing before. Aye.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Which is going to be the same this weekend as well. So I talked to him saying, well, for the club meets, we've only got direct sell there. The sausage curb is not there. But for this meeting, they put the sausage curb back in. God knows why. The sausage curb's going to be there, which is quite happy to hear. But I was talking to him saying about why it's been taken out in this and like the whole Michael Gordon thing with the crash and all this. So he's just a real nice guy, because a lot of drivers could easily just go, I figured it out for my team. But like Aidan was sat there just talking to me for like a solid few minutes, just about sort of the track, like what's going on with it, this, that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like, yeah, they're just quite minted.
Yeah, totally get you. And I know you weren't about anyway because you were away home, but we did have the Marshall's quiz down in the Marshall's hut. Yeah, I did. To be fair, I will say it probably wasn't the best attended this year, but then we'd overran quite a bit, probably near enough to an hour. It had been, the weather had been good, bad, and I think people were just absolutely knackered. But our very own Amber, she was the MC for the quiz. We had Jonathan doing the kind of DJing and the music. The Legends drivers are absolute legends. They supplied the snacks, the soft drinks, a lot of the prizes, the alcohol, which I did take full advantage of. And I managed to turn when I was there, because I was only there till the back of 9, I managed to turn that part of the quiz into a karaoke, because Jonathan Morton was playing all the 80s and 90s theme tunes and songs. It was absolutely amazing. And yes, I will admit, I had a great time and I was slightly tipsy.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at that comment. But yeah, just on the Legends drivers, not even about helping them out, the Legends drivers are just you won't meet another series like Scottish Legends, but every driver you could easily have a chat to, I'll leave to that, especially Michael Weddle.
We interviewed Ben and we interviewed Michael and Ben a few weeks ago, and that's the first time I've sat and spoke to probably either of them. They wouldn't have known what I looked like because I was just a guy in orange standing on a post. But we sat in front of them for an hour or something. Yeah. And I walked past Ben's garage at the weekend and he's just like, John, come here. And I was like, wow, he actually remembers. And the two of them said that they did have a really good time on the podcast. They really enjoyed it. It was quite fun.
I do find with Ben as well, I interviewed him the one time at the May meeting. Was it? Yeah, May meeting. Yeah, interviewed at May meeting, and I thought it wasn't a great interview. It took 4 takes for the interview to happen. It just didn't go well. But even then, he still gave me good answers in it. But I went off of that. I thought, he will probably never just sort of go on great or whatever. But even at the next meeting, I was there on a Friday, and I walked past him. He's like, "How you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, you remember me? Right, Minted. That's quite cool." But, yeah.
And you'll get you at the Caterhams.
Yes, well,
yeah. So are they racing? Are the Caterhams?
No, they're not.
The Legends.
They can't, because if they race this weekend, they'd go back to back because they're racing at Croft next weekend. But I think Michael will still be there because I know the Motorsports are on and Ali Chalmers will be racing, so it should be interesting. And they've got C1s as well, so they'll be helping out the C1s as well on Sunday with their higher car probably.
And hopefully, friend of the show, Liam Kelso, will put some From the Banking stickers on the car.
Yes, that's a good point. We'll go into that actually while we're talking about it. So we've got some good news. We did a bit of a side question. We were just sort of looking at sponsorship, and we've been lucky enough to be able to sponsor Liam Kelso. So we've got these new fins that you'll see on track this weekend, if you're at Knockhill. It's a special little From the Banking logo, which we've got on Liam Kelso's car. We've changed the colour scheme a little on it, so I'll run you through this quickly. It's got orange on the background now, and we've got white for the actual logo. We'll split a lot of support 59 fin for Liam Kelso there. It'll be inverted for you actually watching the video fin, but it's still quite cool. So if you're at Knockhill this weekend, you'll see it. But since it comes out at 5 p.m. on Saturday, we can't really say to go on check out the minis because minis are racing Saturday and they'll probably be done by now. So it's not ideal. I was talking to Lee on Sunday night, race 3, because he was walking past me. I was like, "Oh, where are you going?" He's like, "Well, I'm going here now." So I'm minted. So I was talking to Lee for a bit, and I was saying to him about the sponsor Liam, and that's what you're saying. I was showing him saying, "Oh, you need to get my photos of 59, you know, get some more photos of that, you know, make sure." I would have laughed, but you know, it's but going back onto the record, I just leave a couple seconds of silence. You kind of easier. Hold on. Yeah, but this weekend as well, we had not this weekend, but last weekend, we had the SMRC pop-up as well down at Hairpin, which I'm not sure you got a chance
Yes,
to check
who
out.
was actually manning that? I didn't know who was actually manning it.
Quite a few just SMRC folk were there. I know Lee was there whenever he was at Stog Fair. I can't.
Because if I'm completely honest, that's how I got into marshalling, was at a touring car race, and SMRC had a pop-up down near Post 8. I think it was 2010, I think it was. And I got seconded by somebody. I signed the sheet of paper, and the rest is history.
Yeah, it was a good little pop, to be fair. Charlie Kelso was down there with the C1 car, trying to egg folk on to buy a C1 car and go racing, which he was actually very good at, to be fair. Like, I'd not expect Charlie Kelso to be a salesman, but fair play, you know. He was decently good at his job. I'll give him it.
Excellent. So this weekend we have Caterhams.
Caterhams. Their official name is Caterhams. Right, so I remember we've got Caterham Motorsport, Caterham Academy, Caterham 270R, and Caterham 310R, which don't know, they're called 270 and 310 because that's about brake horsepower they have. So it's 270 brake horsepower.
We were talking about this before we went on air. We were talking about this before we went on air, and I'm sure you said there's at least over 20 of each.
Yeah, there's at least 20 of each series. The 270Rs are the most well populated, but around
the 29?
on the weekend,
Is that the one we've got 29 of?
I think so, but it's not confirmed what cars we've got. But if all the cars that have raced in the Caterhams this year turn up to Knockhill, we will have 91 Caterhams in the paddock. So if you like Caterhams, it might be a good weekend to come along.
Yeah, go to knockhill.com/events and you can get your tickets on there. But I dare say you can still buy them at the gate as well if you don't get a chance to go online. What I would recommend, though, I think this might be a pretty busy weekend, so get yourself up there pretty sharp in the morning. I think the racing the first thing on Saturday starts about 9 o'clock-ish. So if you're there for about 8:30, you should get a decent
running starts at 9:15 on Saturday and at 8:30 on Sunday. I'm just going to run it for 2 minutes, 2 seconds on.
And while Aaron's away, I just want to mention, you might have seen behind me some of the new merch samples that we've had in, with the From the Banking logo, supporting #50 Liam Kelso, the From the Banking media logos. That's on a hoodie. We have a Marshall's cap with the From the Banking logo on. We have a waterproof jacket with the From the Banking logo on. And we have the original From the Banking t-shirt now with TikTok, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, the logo, YouTube logo, and some more From the Banking stuff. So what you see behind me are still samples. This is an idea that we're going with. We just got to get these into production and we'll do that. And we're going to hopefully try and get into some orange polo shirts with the From the Banking logo on it. Because we're Marshalls and we wear orange all the time, and we think it would be a really good thing just to get into.
Anyways, right, so we're back. And I've got more to talk about with the touring cars real quick. So obviously this weekend, we've got the wonderful Ali Chalmers racing again in the number 11 Mini with Minimax Motorsport. And you may have seen him this weekend at Touring Cars, which is because with Restart Racing this weekend, with Chris Smiling and doing a bunch of stuff, which was seen on Instagram, which is really cool and really fun to see. John's going to say, you got that face on him.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I started quickly about it on Saturday, not Saturday, the Friday. I don't know what's doing, but it's just something. As well.
To be
if you
fair,
want-
when we sign on and we go to post, you don't see nothing then until like the night time when you come back
Yeah.
out.
And if you are kicking a bit of paddock this weekend, I find it hilarious. Minimax have a little Easter egg in the garage. And if you watch the BBC documentary, not documentary, but BBC episode of Our Lives about Ali Chalmers, you will know that for some reason, God knows why, Minimax have a cardboard cutout of Ali Chalmers in the back of the garage, which I find hilarious because, like, you're sat like opposite the Minimax garage, you just look over and you'll see Ali Chalmers staring you down. It's brilliant. It's
You
absolute-
have just given me a spectacular idea.
yeah, don't
You know how
even
you know how they stream a lot of the SMRC, KMSC stuff on YouTube and that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Get a lifetime cutout of one of us with a From the Banking merch on and just randomly put it around Knockhill and see if any of the cameras pick it up. That would be hilarious.
See what there, we just need to get like random cardboard cutouts of all, just put them in random places.
Aye.
Then it's COVID again, just put like random cardboard cutouts across stands.
Yeah, why not?
Be good fun, a good laugh. But yeah, it's been a good weekend at touring cars, to be fair. But yeah, about Caterhams, because that's the sort of big thing going into this weekend. This weekend, we've obviously got all the Caterham championships, so I've already listed, so you don't get that again. And then we've got minis on Saturday, C1s on Sunday.
Yep.
So probably two of the best SMRC championships racing this weekend. I'm glad all the SMRC championships are brilliant. Don't get me wrong, but a lot of the minis, love to see ones. Mainly the minis because we're kind of sponsoring a car on it. But
Yeah. Do we have mod sports as well this weekend?
yes, we do have Motorsport as well, which is what Ali Chalmers will be racing in. So Motorsport's always a good little watch. You know, it's good racing. We've got champion Adam Morrison and Ron Cummins racing in that, so it's a good little interesting battle to watch out. But yeah, no, it'll be a good weekend of racing. The minis are racing 3 times on Saturday. I'm suspecting C1s will do the same thing. Obviously we've got some names in the championships, the SMRC ones we know, like we've got Liam Kelso, we've got Greg McFadden, we've got McFadden Motorsport, the whole Scotty Course, and Charles, I can't remember his name. It's Charles, his actual name, Scotty Course. His actual name's Charles Scott, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, there you go.
Because is he not Scotty Course 88 or something?
Yeah, that's what his TikTok handle is. But yeah, he was really nice. He gave the marshals some free sweets and that last meeting. So thank you again for that, mate. But yeah, and then they've
Where
got
was
Triple
I?
Eight as
I
well.
never got free sweets.
Yeah, it went to assembly.
So he didn't go to the marshals, he went to assembly.
Yeah, but we're marshals as well. Thank you very much.
No, but he didn't go to all the marshals, he just went to the assembly ones. The same as the BRSCC hats, but that's another story for another day.
Yeah, it's another story for another day, isn't it? I have no idea where they went to blast. Like, I genuinely have no clue.
Well, do you know what? I've actually got a hat that nobody else in the world has got. It's a one-off at the moment because it's got the From the Banking logo on. Same with the waterproof jacket with the logo on. And I'm the only one with a polo shirt with it on, which has also got it down the collar. Good. Nice and subtle.
We've got Formula E in London, but that doesn't matter at all. We'll let Amber talk about that. Amber and Orange will take talk
Yeah,
about that.
Amber and Orange can talk about that on next week's podcast if she's still alive because of the heat down in London.
Yeah.
I think when we record this on a Thursday generally, and I think probably next Thursday she will still be tired and still be knackered out. But we will try our best to get her on, and she can talk all about Formula E.
And as well, everybody, you know, with the weather so far, it's in a hot week, but we don't know what's going to happen this weekend. So it's time for Knockhill Weather Report. Isn't the segment at all on the podcast, but we're making it one now. And you'll be happy to know it's going to be cloudy. So
Cloudy's best.
yeah. So we're looking at on the weekend approximately, like, it feels like 15 degrees most of Saturday. Sunday, it's going to be cloudy all day. There's a chance of rain midday on Sunday.
That could be exciting.
Literally for just 3 hours midday and 30% chance of rain. So it's not a
but
massive chance.
it's literally 3 hours, but it's the last 3 hours of racing.
No, but it's 12, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock.
Right.
So that's quite, it should be interesting to see how it goes. And then Monday, the day after all the race and stuff, we got all the rain. So love that.
Now, am I right or am I wrong that one day this weekend is clockwise and one day is anti-clockwise?
You're right. So Saturday, we're sitting in anti-clockwise. Second time this season.
Second time this season, yeah.
Yes. So Caterhams will be racing 2 circuits, technically, this weekend, same Motorsport. which are quite interesting. And we know there was some drama last time out anti-clockwise with Ron Cummins having some contact with, I would say, Louis Strachan at the hairpin. Well, that was quite an interesting incident. So, plenty can happen anti-clockwise. It's a very good circuit. Both Michael and Ben have come on and said before that they prefer it anti-clockwise. So, the drivers like it, I like it, everyone else hates it for some reason. Yeah, it should
it'll be interesting
weekend.
it'll be interesting for me because I'm post 1 this weekend. So I'm in the greenhouse up on the stand thing.
So
So do you send them round the back and they come down by the marshal's hut? Because technically speaking, we need to green flag them as they come out the pit.
What happens is the assembly area will literally just queue up on the left and just go straight out the pit exit. Let's do a U-turn.
Ah, right, okay. So literally in an anti-clockwise day, we don't need to green flag them coming out then. That's fine.
Yeah. I think finish line green flags them. But come on, we also give them a green flag for the racing. So they go out from assembly, they get a green flag. So I think that counts as a green flag. But yeah, it should be interesting. Personally, I love watching C1s anti-clockwise because they just come over the hill and they're like 4 wide and it's just brilliant.
Yeah.
You can't beat it. And the hairpin's always interesting and anti-clockwise. And I think having 29 Caterhams possibly sending it into the hairpin anti-clockwise might be quite interesting. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I think post 9 and post 8 might be quite busy this weekend.
Yeah, especially, it's just going to be interesting. Obviously, last time out with Legends anti-clockwise, we'll be here this weekend, but still interesting example to use something similar-ish to the Caterhams. You had their pile up out the hairpin, which, we don't hope that'll happen again. And another incident, which isn't really to do with anti-clockwise, so I'll just leave that one out. But, the pinch point, I suppose, I don't know what to say pinch point, but coming out the hairpin in a big field anti-clockwise isn't the easiest thing to do, especially because it's downhill. It's not the easiest corner in the world, but it should create a bit of drama. Should be quite interesting. Obviously, Duff's uphill, chicane downhill, Clark's as well. It's quite interesting anti-clockwise too. I like anti-clockwise.
Just in case anybody wonders, you might have heard I guest spotted on a podcast this week. I'm not sure when it's going live, but if you search on Spotify, they are on Spotify only. It's Dad versus the Teenage Years. I guest spotted on that this weekend, and that's going to be a cracking listen. They are on Spotify. Just search Dad versus the Teenage Years. It's Adam and his daughter, and I got invited on Monday, actually it was this week, to record that, and that will be going out, I think, either this weekend or next weekend.
Quite interesting. But yeah, so we've got a lot going on this weekend, and there's going to be a lot to talk about after the weekend as well. With Formula E as well, I'm going to want to talk about that to you guys as well. I'm hoping to get some Caterham drivers for interviews this weekend too. So if you're on my socials, keep an eye out. You get hopefully some insight into Caterhams. Hopefully get one from each championship, just so to give you a look into the world of Caterham racing. It's quite interesting.
The links will be below this video and they will be in the descriptions, but just remember the Cadet Marshal on TikTok. That's where you'll find his driver interviews.
And just reached 700 followers, so thank you guys for that. Minted. Almost 100 on Instagram. I'm going to have a look at that actually. Am I 100 on Instagram now? That is a good question. Let's see. Can I get a drum roll, please?
I don't know how the hell I managed it because I couldn't post anything over the weekend at Knockhill because the data was so shocking. But I jumped to like nearly 1,700 just over the weekend for no reason because I didn't post anything.
I'm at 104 now on Instagram, so that's also minted. So 100 on Instagram, 700 on TikTok. Minted, guys. Thanks very much. But yeah. But yeah, it should be a great weekend. If you see me, John, or Amber, you won't see Amber, but if you see me and John kick away the paddock, then feel free to say hi. Preferably not during our work, but...
Well, unfortunately, this weekend, I won't be bumping into anyone on post because I am going to be in the pit lane on post 1. Yeah, so I won't be bumping into anyone this weekend, but it does mean that I should be around about at lunchtime because I don't have far to go to get back to post, so I might come round into the paddock and see what we can find out in the paddock this weekend. If you see me walking about... If you see me walking about with this, come say hi.
Run for your life. Like if you see me walking about, well, like how when I'm at old microphones, you saw me walking about with them, you had to run for your life because it was not a fun experience to them. It was shocking. So everybody, that has been the From the Banky podcast for yet another week of the 2026 season. We're going to have a lot to talk about next weekend with upcoming meet in the SMRC and Legends at Croft on the 22nd and 23rd of August, along with, obviously, the Caterham weekend will just gone by. So there's going to be a lot to talk about. Tune in next week for some even more interesting talk on From the Banking, and hopefully we'll see you there. Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.
I could not speak to that. Like, genuinely could not speak. That was shocking.